In a country like the United States, where people often assume that a college degree is the only way to earn a good living, it's easy to overlook the fact that there are plenty of other paths, practical, rewarding, and absolutely legitimate. Many people have built strong careers without setting foot in a university, starting from the ground up, learning hands-on, and rising through skill, experience, and determination. The jobs you're about to explore prove that you don't need a diploma to earn serious income. Each of these roles comes with an average salary of at least $60,000 a year, some even well into six figures. They vary widely in style. Some require physical strength, others call for sharp thinking or people skills, but what they all have in common is this: they don't ask for a degree. They ask for effort, commitment, and a willingness to get really good at what you do. Of course, none of these jobs are easy. But if you've ever doubted yourself because college wasn't in the cards, or you're simply looking for a different way forward, then these 14 careers just might open the right door. Number 1. Elevator Installer. A job that goes up and down, but the pay only goes up. Back in school, did you ever imagine yourself becoming an elevator installer? Probably not. It's one of those jobs that rarely gets mentioned. It's not flashy, doesn't require a college degree, but quietly ranks among the highest-paying trades in America. Elevator technicians are the folks who literally keep your life moving. They install, maintain, and repair elevators, escalators, and automatic doors in office buildings, apartment complexes, hospitals, airports, pretty much any place that needs vertical transportation. It's one of those services you don't think about until it stops working. And when it does, it's these highly skilled professionals who step in to make things right again. The best part? You don't need a college degree to get started. Most elevator mechanics begin their careers with just a high school diploma. From there, they enter a paid apprenticeship program that usually lasts 4 to 5 years. During that time, you learn on the job alongside experienced pros while also taking classes on safety, electrical systems, hydraulics, and more. Once you're done, you can take a certification exam and boom, you're officially in. Now here's the part everyone wants to know: the money. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average annual salary for elevator installers and repairers is around $104,000. But in cities like New York or San Francisco, that number can climb to $120,000 or even $130,000 if you've got experience under your belt. Compare that to the national average salary of about $60,000 and yeah, this trade suddenly looks pretty sweet. Of course, it's not for everyone. This is hands-on, physical work. You'll be climbing into elevator shafts, working on construction sites, sometimes dozens of stories in the air. So if you're afraid of heights or not in decent shape, this might not be your thing. It's also a job for people who can read blueprints, think mechanically, and follow safety rules to the letter. But if you can handle the demands, this is a career that doesn't leave you stuck on the ground floor. With a few years of experience, you can move up to become a supervisor, project manager, or even start your own elevator service company. The BLS projects the field will add about 2,300 new jobs from 2022 to 2032, growing at 6%, which is faster than average. And with many older workers retiring soon, there's room for fresh talent. So, is this the right path for you? If you're looking for a practical job you can train for quickly with great pay, long-term stability, and no student debt dragging you down, then yeah, elevator installer might just be your ride to the six-figure club. Just don't expect air conditioning and a cushy desk. But if you don't mind getting your hands dirty and want a solid future, this could be your elevator to success. Number 2. Commercial pilot. No college degree. Still flying a dream. For many people, being a pilot has always seemed like a glamorous and far-off career, something reserved for those who served in the military, or at least graduated from an elite aviation university. But did you know that in the US, commercial pilots aren't required to have a college degree? The real prerequisite is something entirely different: flight hours and a license. Picture this. You're sitting in the cockpit of a small twin-engine aircraft, ready to fly a group of engineers out to an offshore oil rig, or maybe you're transporting VIPs to a major sporting event. You're not flying for a big commercial airline like Delta or United, but you're the one fully responsible for everyone on board. That's the core of being a commercial pilot. operating aircraft for civilian or business purposes without the fixed schedules of major airline routes. So what about the pay? According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average salary for a commercial pilot is around $122,670 per year, 2023 data. It's one of the rare professions where you can hit six figures without ever stepping into a college classroom, as long as you've got the skills, the hours, and nerves of steel. The path to the cockpit usually starts at a certified flight training school. You'll need to log at least 250 hours of flight time to qualify for the FAA Commercial Pilot Certificate. From there, you could end up flying cargo, charter flights, pipeline inspection runs, flight instruction, or even rescue helicopters, each path with its own challenges and pay scale. Of course, this isn't the job for someone afraid of heights or looking for a calm 9 to 5. The schedule can be erratic, the travel constant, and the pressure to maintain absolute safety is non-negotiable. But if you're someone who thrives on discipline, loves technology, and craves adventure, being behind the yoke each day could feel more like joy than work. And here's another compelling fact. The civil aviation industry is facing a serious pilot shortage. According to Boeing's projections, the U.S. will need over 80,000 new pilots in the next 2 decades. That means huge opportunities ahead for those bold enough to chase the skies, even if they don't have a degree to back it up. So if you've ever dreamed of flying but told yourself it was for other people, maybe it's time to rethink. Sometimes, all it takes to launch is a map, a headset, and the decision to take off. Number 3. Transportation, Storage, and Distribution Manager. The person behind every on-time delivery. Have you ever wondered how a package from California can show up at your doorstep in Texas in just 2 days? Or why grocery store shelves are always stocked, even during a snowstorm or a worker strike? The answer lies with the people behind logistics, especially those working as transportation, storage, and distribution managers. You won't see them in flashy commercials, but they're the reason everything runs smoothly in the real world. Their job is like solving a giant puzzle, calculating every shipment, every truck, every warehouse slot, and every minute on the clock to make sure things arrive where they should, when they should. From dispatching containers at busy ports, managing distribution centers on the outskirts of town, to overseeing last-mile deliveries in cities, they make hundreds of decisions daily to keep the system flowing. Sounds stressful? It can be, but it's also extremely rewarding. According to the latest data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average salary for this role in the U.S. is around $102,010 per year. And here's the kicker. You don't need a college degree to do this job. Many people start with just a high school diploma and build their careers through vocational training or hands-on experience in logistics. The career path often begins in roles like warehouse coordinator, fleet supervisor, or inventory clerk. But if you've got strong organizational skills, quick decision-making ability, and a knack for managing people, you can quickly rise through the ranks, eventually overseeing millions of dollars worth of goods each year. This is a job for people who thrive under pressure, who can adapt fast, and who prefer orchestrating chaos over sitting still. No 2 days are the same. One day you're resolving a shipment stuck at the border. The next you're negotiating with a supplier because a container arrived late. And that's part of the appeal. Boredom doesn't really exist in this line of work. Logistics and transportation are booming in the U.S., fueled by the rise of e-commerce, warehouse automation, and increased shipping demands. With giants like Amazon, Walmart, and countless supply chains running full throttle, the need for skilled logistics managers is only growing. According to the BLS, this field is expected to see steady job growth, with thousands of new opportunities opening up each year. And the best part? You don't need a 4-year degree to get started. All you really need is a strong sense of responsibility, a systems-thinking mindset, and just enough deadline adrenaline to keep things moving. That alone can set you on the path to a stable, 6-figure career, even if college was never part of your journey. Number 4. Detective and Criminal Investigator. The truth behind the flashing lights. If you've ever been hooked on shows like NCIS, CSI, or Mindhunter, you've probably imagined what it's like to live a life where each day brings a new case, a new clue, and a new chase for the truth. The good news? That job doesn't just exist on television. In real life, they're called detectives and criminal investigators, and the even better news is that many of them don't have a college degree. Detectives are the people working behind the scenes of criminal cases, sometimes within police departments, sometimes in the private sector. They collect evidence, interview witnesses, track suspects, recreate crime scenes, and collaborate with other agencies to uncover what really happened. Their work may not be as dramatic as the shows make it out to be, but it's incredibly detailed, methodical, and demands an extraordinary level of persistence and mental focus. In the US, the average salary for a detective or criminal investigator is around $91,100 per year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That number can vary depending on the state, whether you work for the government or in the private sector, and the type of cases you handle, from violent crimes and fraud to missing persons or even marital infidelity. There isn't just one way to become a detective. Many come up through the ranks of law enforcement, gaining experience as patrol officers before being promoted into investigative units. But others take different paths, starting out as security officers, corporate investigators, or enrolling in a fast-track training program before testing for a private investigator license. Some states require you to hold a professional license, but a 4-year degree? Not necessarily. Real-world experience, especially for those with military or law enforcement backgrounds, often speaks louder than any diploma. That said, this is not a job for dreamers or people looking for an easy ride. Your days might stretch into long nights. You could find yourself standing over a bloody crime scene, facing down a lying suspect, or spending hours watching grainy security footage frame by frame. But in return, you get a career that genuinely makes an impact. Sometimes helping a victim find justice, other times stopping a crime before it happens. While this field isn't growing at the explosive rate of tech or healthcare, job opportunities remain steady, particularly in urban areas where demand for security and investigative services continues to rise. And in the private sector, insurance fraud, corporate security, personal investigations, the need for skilled, hands-on investigators is only growing. So, if you've got a sharp eye, a logical mind, strong intuition, and a belief that every detail tells a story, then this career isn't just a Hollywood fantasy. It could be your real-life mission, a challenging, gritty, and deeply rewarding path for those who chase truth in a world full of shadows. Number 5. Web developer. No degree required, just enough lines of code. You don't have a college degree, but you can build a shoe website that makes people want to click buy the second they see it? Then honestly, you don't need much else. You've already got what it takes to step into the world of web development, one of the hottest, most flexible, and most accessible careers today. Web developers are the brains behind every website you visit, from personal blogs and news sites to massive platforms like Amazon and Netflix. They design, code, debug, and optimize web pages to make sure they run fast, stay stable, and are easy to navigate. Their work is invisible when done well, but absolutely vital. And the best part? You don't need a college degree to get started. What you do need is real skill, and the best way to prove that is with a portfolio of websites you've built, the ability to solve problems logically, think creatively, and a mindset that's always hungry to learn more. Now let's talk money. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average salary for a web developer is about $90,930 per year, 2023, well above the national average. With experience, the ability to freelance, or working directly with clients, that number can jump to $120,000, $150,000 or more. If you add skills in UI, UX design, SEO, or back-end development, your income potential only grows. One of the biggest perks of this career is flexibility. You can work at a tech company, marketing agency, nonprofit, or code from your favorite coffee shop, as long as you've got Wi-Fi. You can go full-time, part-time, remote, or freelance, however you want to structure your day. And with the explosion of e-commerce and the digital shift of almost every business, nearly every organization needs a website, which means they need you. Of course, it's not a walk in the park. You'll likely start from scratch, learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, moving on to frameworks like React or Vue, and back-end tools like Node.js or PHP. You'll read endless documentation, break your code more times than you can count, and stare at a blank screen for hours, only to realize you missed a semicolon. But if you love technology, Enjoy creating things that actually work after a few lines of code. This is your playground. The best part? The job market is booming. From 2022 to 2032, web development is projected to grow by 23%, way faster than the national average for all occupations. That means tons of opportunities, and you won't need a student ID to claim them. So if you've ever built a small website for your aunt's bakery, or felt genuinely proud when your code compiled without errors, don't hold back. Sometimes all it takes to build a real career is a laptop, a Wi-Fi connection, and a good enough reason to start learning. Number 6. Chef or head cook. A life built on fire, flavor, and focus. Walk into any bustling restaurant at dinner rush, and you'll feel it: the heat, the tension, the rhythm, pans sizzling, knives clacking, tickets printing non-stop. And at the heart of it all is one person keeping the chaos under control: the head chef. The one who not only creates dishes, but also leads a team, maintains order, and ensures every plate that leaves the kitchen tells a story. It's not glamorous in the way television might suggest, but for those who truly love the craft, it's a calling. Chefs and head cooks oversee the preparation of meals in restaurants, private homes, hotels, cruise ships, and all kinds of dining establishments. Their job isn't just to cook, it's to plan menus, manage kitchen staff, monitor food quality and safety, order supplies, and troubleshoot problems before anyone in the dining room even notices. A good chef has eyes in the back of their head, ears tuned to every station, and a sense of timing so precise it borders on instinct. You don't need a college degree to become a chef. In fact, many of the best in the business never went to culinary school. While some do attend formal culinary programs, a large number learn through hands-on experience, apprenticeships, or training on the job, often starting out as prep cooks, line cooks, or sous chefs, and slowly rising through the ranks. It's a career that rewards passion, precision, and perseverance, far more than paper credentials. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, chefs and head cooks earn an average of $60,990 per year, though that number can climb significantly in high-end restaurants, resorts, or private dining. And the job market is hot, literally and figuratively. Between 2023 and 2033, the field is expected to grow by 15%, adding roughly 15,500 new positions, which is much faster than the average for all occupations. The rise of food delivery services, boutique catering, and fine dining experiences has fueled demand for chefs who can deliver both quality and creativity. But this job isn't for the faint of heart. Kitchens are high-pressure environments. You're on your feet all day, often in tight spaces, under hot lights, with dozens of moving parts from boiling pots to unpredictable staff. You'll deal with last-minute changes, burnt sauces, broken equipment, and complaints, all while keeping your team motivated and your plating immaculate. Still, for many, there's magic in the madness. There's a pride in feeding others, in transforming raw ingredients into memorable meals, and in leading a brigade that operates with the precision of a symphony. No two services are the same. Every night brings new challenges, and at the end of it all, when the last plate is wiped clean and the kitchen finally goes quiet, you know you've created something that mattered. So if you're someone who thrives under pressure, who sees food as both science and art, and who's willing to put in the years it takes to master the craft, you don't need a degree to become a chef. You need fire. You need discipline. And above all, you need love for the plate. Number 7. Aircraft mechanic. Keeping steel wings ready to soar. Pilots often get all the praise, and rightfully so. They're the ones at the controls, flying passengers thousands of miles across the sky. But behind every smooth flight is a team that rarely gets the spotlight. Aircraft mechanics and aviation service technicians, the people who make sure that plane you're sitting on can actually fly. This job lives right at the intersection of engineering and aviation, where you may never leave the ground, but you still need to know every bolt, every strange noise, every tiny scratch on a massive aircraft. As an aircraft mechanic, your job is to inspect, maintain, repair, and ensure the technical safety of airplanes before and after each flight. From engines and fuel systems to avionics and landing gear, everything must meet exacting standards. There's no room for error at 30,000 feet. Think you need a college degree to do this? Not necessarily. In the US, you can become an aircraft mechanic without a bachelor's degree. as long as you complete a program approved by the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, and pass the required exams to earn your A and P certification, airframe and power plant. The average salary for this job is around $78,680 per year, according to BLS data. That number can go much higher if you work at a major airport, for a commercial airline, or take on high-demand shifts like nights and emergencies. Skilled, experienced, and flexible mechanics are always in demand because it's simple. Planes don't fly unless someone checks every inch of them first. You might work inside a hangar, out on the tarmac, or in mobile repair stations. You'll be on your feet for long hours, bending, climbing, and often working in less than comfortable weather. But if you love machinery, are fascinated by aviation tech, and have a sharp eye for detail, this career isn't just a job, it's a form of precision-driven passion. The aviation maintenance industry is growing again post-pandemic. As airlines expand their fleets, upgrade older equipment, and replace retiring technicians, the need for qualified mechanics is rising fast. Between 2022 and 2032, the BLS projects thousands of new jobs will open up across the aircraft repair sector. So if you're looking for a highly skilled, disciplined, and stable career without spending 4 years in college, becoming an aircraft mechanic is absolutely worth considering. It may not lift you off the ground, but it'll give you a rock-solid future beneath the wings of flight. Number 8. Frontline Supervisor. The one holding it all together between workers and management. In every factory, construction site, warehouse, or logistics center, there's always someone walking around with a clipboard, calling out directions to the crew, and answering calls from the office, asking for updates. That person isn't the CEO, but they're also far from just another worker. They're the frontline supervisor, the direct link between the workforce and management, the one making sure the machine runs smoothly, day in and day out. This job is a perfect mix of hands-on skill and real-world leadership. You might not sit on the top floor, but you'll be the first to spot when something goes wrong. You won't be the one making strategic decisions, but you are responsible for making sure those strategies are carried out shift by shift, task by task, person by person. Sound stressful? Yeah, it can be. But that's exactly why this role comes with solid pay. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average salary for frontline supervisors in the U.S. is around $76,760 in manufacturing and about $65,930 in warehousing or retail. Not bad at all for a job that doesn't require a college degree. In fact, many people in this role started from the ground up as warehouse staff, drivers, machine operators, or crew members. Over time, they worked their way into leadership by proving themselves, showing reliability, experience, and the ability to manage people under pressure. Some take short courses in labor management or safety. Others just lead by example, and that's enough. Your job will be to assign tasks, monitor performance, solve problems on the fly, report to higher-ups, and sometimes cover for someone who calls in sick. You'll need strong communication skills, a good eye for detail, the ability to make quick decisions, and above all, the calm to handle a loud, fast-moving, and sometimes tense environment. The work setting varies depending on the industry. Maybe you're on a production floor, out on a construction site, deep in an Amazon distribution center, or managing a high-pressure restaurant kitchen. Wherever it is, you're the one keeping things moving forward, even when the unexpected hits. In today's economy, driven by logistics, e-commerce, and advanced manufacturing companies, need people who can lead teams, boost productivity, and keep things together. And the best part? You don't need a degree to get your foot in the door. What you do need is real-world experience, a sense of ownership, and the kind of grit that good leaders are made of. So, if you've ever been the one people rely on when the boss is out, if you've got a head for planning, a steady hand under pressure, and a drive to make things run like clockwork, then you might be exactly the kind of frontline supervisor a company's been hoping to find. Number 9. Wholesale and Manufacturing Sales Representative. Turning words and relationships into revenue. Some people don't need to sit in boardrooms, write a single line of code, or stand on a factory floor all day. And yet they're the ones bringing in the money using their communication skills, product knowledge, and ability to build relationships. That's the world of wholesale and manufacturing sales representatives, or, more simply, professional salespeople for businesses. This isn't your typical retail sales job. This role is strictly B2B, business to business. You're not selling a single printer, you're selling an entire contract to supply printers worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to a corporate office chain. Your clients might be distributors, retailers, manufacturers, hospitals, or even government agencies, anyone who buys in bulk. And the great part? You don't need a college degree to do this job. What you need is a deep understanding of your product, strong communication skills, the ability to build trust, and let's be honest, the grit to hear no and keep going. Many successful sales reps started in customer service, blue-collar trades, or even as delivery drivers. What sets them apart? They know how to talk to people, and they always stay professional no matter the setting. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average salary for wholesale and manufacturing sales reps in the U.S. is around $74,100 per year. But that's just the baseline with commissions, especially in high-value industries like medical equipment, tech, or heavy machinery. Six-figure incomes are absolutely within reach. Some top earners bring in more than $150,000 a year, all thanks to their ability to close deals. This job isn't for those who want to stay put. You'll likely be on the move, visiting clients, giving presentations, negotiating contracts, and handling follow-ups. One day you might be driving out to a factory in the next state. The next day you're locked in a long Zoom call with a potential East Coast client. This career suits people who like flexibility, independence, and chasing opportunities instead of waiting for them to appear. Even with all the advancements in tech, human connection still matters in B2B sales. No one is going to buy a $500,000 machine based solely on an ad. They're going to buy because they trust the rep, the one who took the time to explain, answer every question, and show up when it mattered. So, if you're the kind of person who enjoys starting conversations, can read people well, has the patience for long sales cycles, and loves the adrenaline rush of closing a deal, then this isn't just a job. It's a long-term, high-earning career path that has nothing to do with a college degree, and everything to do with how you connect with people. Number 10. Flight attendant. The calm in the sky. We've all seen them walking through airport terminals in crisp uniforms, rolling their suitcases, flashing warm smiles even when the flight's been delayed for 3 hours. But behind that polished appearance is a job that demands far more than just being friendly. As a flight attendant, you're not just handing out orange juice. You're responsible for the safety of hundreds of people at 35,000 feet, and you do it all without needing a college degree. Becoming a flight attendant in the U.S. doesn't require academic credentials. Most airlines ask that you have a high school diploma, good health, the physical ability to reach overhead bins, and the stamina to complete an intense training program that can last from a few weeks to several months. During that time, you'll learn first aid, fire safety, how to handle disruptive passengers, cross-cultural communication, and most importantly, how to stay calm in situations where others may panic. So if you think this is just a smile and serve job, try spending 3 straight days in the air running on little sleep, irregular meals, and still expected to keep your poise and professionalism. Then we'll talk. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average annual salary for flight attendants in the U.S. is around $67,130. But those with years of experience, flying international routes, or working for major airlines like Delta, United, or American, can earn up to $90,000 or more, not including per diem, overnight stipends, or emergency flight bonuses. That said, it's also a job with unpredictable hours. You might be called in a few hours before takeoff, work weekends and holidays, and rarely get a day off exactly when you want it. Still, this career attracts tens of thousands of applicants every year. Sure, part of the appeal is the dream of seeing the world without paying for the plane ticket, but deeper than that is the love for working in a fast-paced, multicultural environment where every flight brings a new story, new passengers, and an experience that never repeats. Even more encouraging BLS projects that from 2022 to 2032, demand for flight attendants will grow by about 11% faster than the average for most careers. The expansion of airline fleets, the post-pandemic travel boom, and the rising expectations for quality in-flight service are all fueling that growth. And you don't need a college degree to be part of it. So if you're someone who thrives on change, enjoys working with people, and can keep your cool when everyone else is losing theirs, maybe you don't have to reach for the sky after all. it might already be waiting at your feet, in the form of a boarding pass into a career that doesn't need a degree. Just courage, heart, and a passion for service. Number 11. Water transportation worker. Quietly steering the economy from below the surface. They're never mentioned on financial news segments. You won't see them on TED stages, wearing tech headsets or showing off PowerPoint slides. But without them, the U.S. wouldn't face a traffic jam on a freeway. It would face a bottleneck across the entire supply chain. These are water transportation workers, the ones moving millions of tons of goods across America's rivers, canals, and coastlines. They don't make noise, they don't seek attention, but they are absolutely essential. While most people are busy looking up at planes taking off and lightning-fast logistics apps battling for speed, the most foundational layer of freight movement is quietly flowing beneath our feet. From barges hauling coal along the Mississippi to tugboats guiding container ships into Houston's port, every trip is a vital link in the economic chain. And the best part? You don't need a college degree to enter this world. Most water transport workers start by learning on the job, training hands-on, earning their certifications through the U.S. Coast Guard, and building their skills through real-world experience. What matters here isn't a framed diploma, it's endurance, discipline, and teamwork. Life on a vessel is like no other work environment. A single trip can last days or even weeks. Shifts can stretch 12 hours or more. Eating, sleeping, and working all happen on the same deck. You'll face rough weather, noisy engines, and long stretches away from home, often with nothing but waves and steel for company. But if you can handle the rhythm, crave physical work, and appreciate clear expectations, this is one of the most stable, well-paying careers you can have without ever stepping foot in a college classroom. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average annual salary for water transportation workers in the U.S. is around $66,490. That figure climbs significantly for more experienced roles like lead deckhands, pilots, or tugboat captains, many of whom make well over $100,000 a year. And contrary to what you might expect, this isn't a fading industry. In fact, the BLS projects a 5% growth in employment between 2022 and 2032, right in line with the national average. While automation and AI threaten to reshape other industries, you can't teach a shipping container to steer itself. Human hands are still absolutely necessary. This job isn't for people who want luxury, but it's perfect for those who love engines, tools, working with their hands, and who feel a sense of pride in keeping things moving. On the water, you're not just hauling cargo, you're carrying the economy 1 ton at a time in a way few people notice until it stops. Number 12. Carpenter. A craft built with wood but strong enough to build a life. Some jobs never go viral. They're not trendy on social media, and you won't find them on any top careers of the future lists. Yet, strangely enough, when someone needs a new door, a rebuilt kitchen, a new frame for their house, or even just a sagging porch repaired after a storm, they call one person first: the carpenter. The one who works with wood, nails, tape measures, and their own 2 hands to turn drawings into something real. And here's the thing, you don't need a college degree to do it. In the US, you can become a carpenter by starting an apprenticeship, learning on the job from someone more experienced, or even teaching yourself, and slowly working your way up through basic jobs, installing floors, framing houses, building cabinets. What matters isn't your GPA, it's your precision, patience, and the ability to stay sharp while working outdoors, up high, or in cramped corners. It's manual labor, yes, but it demands a clear head. Just a few millimeters off, and the entire frame might have to come down. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average salary for carpenters in the U.S. is about $59,310 per year. But carpentry is a craft that gets better with time and with experience, skill, and the ability to take on more complex or custom jobs, like curved staircases, high-end finish work, or restoring historic wood structures. Your earnings can rise fast. Many carpenters move from hourly labor to running their own projects, subcontracting on large builds, or even launching their own construction businesses. At that point, your income is no longer tied to your hours, it's tied to your reputation and output. The best part? Wood is always in demand. No matter how modern the world gets, homes still need framing, ceilings still need beams, and interiors still need to be built. Carpentry isn't going anywhere. while the BLS projects flat job growth, 0%, from 2022 to 2032, that doesn't tell the full story. As older, skilled tradespeople retire, demand for younger workers who are willing to train and stick with the trade is quietly but urgently rising. This isn't a clean or easy job. You'll get covered in sawdust, nick your hands, and occasionally lose your cool when a customer changes their mind at the last minute. But in return, you'll get to see the results of your work taking shape every day. That frame, that kitchen cabinet, that perfectly laid wooden floor all stamped with your craftsmanship. No spreadsheet or monthly report beats the feeling of walking off a job site and saying, "I built that." So if you're someone who likes making something real, doesn't mind getting dirty, and wants a trade you can carry for life, you don't have to look far. Just grab a tape measure, a chisel, and the mindset to learn one cut at a time. Number 13. Real estate agent. The dream seller who signs on the dotted line. In America, a home is more than just a place to live. It's the biggest investment most people ever make, a symbol of stability, a result of years of saving, and sometimes a dream that feels just out of reach. That's why the person who stands between the buyer and the seller, who gives tours, negotiates prices, closes deals, handles paperwork, and sometimes even acts as a part-time therapist, plays a huge role. That person is the real estate agent. It sounds like a fancy title, but getting into the field is surprisingly practical. You don't need a college degree to become a real estate agent in the US. What you do need is a state license, which usually means completing a short course, between 60 and 150 hours depending on the state, and passing an exam. Once you've got your license, you're free to dive into the world of selling, leasing, pricing, and brokering all sorts of property, from modest single-family homes to million-dollar mansions, commercial office spaces to empty lots waiting for development. What makes this job so appealing? The income potential, which, frankly, has no cap. Most of your earnings come from commissions, so it all depends on how many deals you close. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average income for a real estate agent is around $58,960 a year, but that number swings wildly. If you're skilled, hardworking, well-connected, and based in a hot market like California, Texas, or Florida, you could make $100,000 to $200,000 or more per year. On the flip side, if you lack sales skills, get discouraged easily, or quit halfway, you might make nothing at all. Because this is a commission-based career, resilience is key. One month you might earn 5 figures, the next, nothing. But if you enjoy meeting people, love talking, have a decent eye for design, and understand how markets move, then showing homes could feel less like work and more like a game you love playing. The work environment is flexible. You can join an agency, work as an independent contractor, or even open your own brokerage after a few years of experience. There's no strict 9 to 5, but you will need to be available on weekends, late nights, and ready to show a home at a moment's notice, like when a client suddenly says, "Hey, I've got time in 20 minutes." As for job outlook, the real estate market goes through hot and cold cycles, but the need to buy, sell, lease, and move never really stops. BLS projects a stable 3% job growth in the field from 2022 to 2032. Not explosive, but steady enough for skilled agents to build a long-term career. But here's what matters most. This is a job for people who know how to sell with words. Not empty words, though. Real estate isn't about talking someone into something. It's about knowing what to ask, when to speak up, and how to say the right thing at the right time. It's about helping people make huge decisions with confidence, not manipulation. So, if you've ever helped a friend find an apartment, geeked out over zoning maps, or spent hours scrolling Zillow just to admire beautiful homes you couldn't afford yet, maybe it's time to stop waiting to buy a house and start helping others buy theirs first. Who knows? One day, you might be signing both ends of the deal. Number 14. Broadcast sound and video technician. The people who make the world come alive. You turn on the television and catch the evening news. The sound is crisp, the lighting is balanced, the anchor's voice is smooth, and the transitions between segments are seamless. You probably don't give it much thought, but everything you're seeing and hearing has the fingerprints of someone behind the scenes, a broadcast, sound, or video technician. These are the folks who work backstage in the massive world of entertainment and media. You don't see them on camera, but they're the ones adjusting microphones, monitoring audio feeds, setting stage lighting, establishing live transmission links, editing footage, and making sure everything runs smoothly from start to finish. When something goes wrong, a mic screeches, video stutters, a stream cuts out, they're the first to get called, and usually the only ones who know how to fix it in seconds. What's amazing is that you don't need a college degree to enter this field. Many technicians start through vocational programs, community college training, or even by teaching themselves on YouTube. From there, they gain experience at local television stations, event companies, indie film crews, or audio recording studios. In today's digital world, what matters isn't a diploma on the wall. It's your skills, your calm under pressure, and your ability to troubleshoot in real time. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average salary for broadcast, sound, and video technicians is about $56,600 per year. Of course, that number varies. If you work for a major Hollywood studio, a large concert venue, or a mega church with a full media crew, your salary could exceed $70,000. Meanwhile, entry-level positions in smaller towns might start lower. But the real headline is, this industry is growing fast. BLS projections show that between 2022 and 2032, jobs in this field are expected to grow by about 8% faster than the national average. Why? Because live streaming, digital content creation, podcasts, virtual events, and even high-end weddings and corporate conferences all need reliable media professionals. In a world where everything is being recorded, streamed, or broadcast, and where everything has to look and sound flawless, those working quietly behind the lens are more essential than ever. This career isn't for the easily rattled, and it's not for people who crave the spotlight. But if you love messing with gear, have an ear that picks up audio glitches others miss, and can patiently edit video for hours without being satisfied until the color grading is perfect, then this might be more than just a job. It's a real profession in a world that's always on air. You don't need a college degree to build a solid future. The 14 jobs you've just seen prove that with the right skills, a strong work ethic, and a willingness to learn, you can earn great money, build a real career, and live well, no diploma required. Each path has its own challenges, but one thing is clear. These are real jobs with real pay and real long-term potential. Success isn't about following someone else's path, it's about finding the one that fits you best and owning it. If you found this helpful, give it a like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more no-fluff, real-world career content. You don't have to wait for permission, you just have to start.